कौन सा लैपटॉप? नहीं गिरेगा नहीं, सॉरी. Okay, we are live. If there is anybody in the chat section, please let me know if I am audible and visible properly. Just give me a quick thumbs up in the chat section so that we can start our today's session. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Mahi. Good evening, Neha. Good evening, Roshan. So guys, in today's session, we are going to discuss basic mathematics for machine learning. So that means I'm going to discuss basic mathematics which we are going to use further for machine learning models. And if there is another and anything else than that, this lecture is required, we are going to discuss that in the algorithm, right? So in the model, if we'll get further more maths, then we can discuss that at that time. But right now, I am taking all the basic concepts uh, which will help you for machine learning, right? Okay. Neha is asking, is information technology branches eligible is in BARC? Right, I think it is eligible. It is eligible. Just, yeah. Okay, so guys, first we'll start with straight lines, then we'll move to different topics, right? So first topic is straight line because this is the first topic which we get require in regression, right? First model which we have discussed little bit yesterday. We are going to discuss it in the next session as well because we have done. We'll do all the mathematics today, and then in the next session we are going to discuss in detail the regression topic. Okay, straight line. So if I'll talk about any straight line, so let's suppose this is my straight line, right? This is a straight line, or let me take it here. This is a straight line. So this is a straight line. If I'll take, first let's talk about a 2D plane. So this is a 2D plane, right? This is my x-axis, this is my x-axis, and this is my y-axis. This is my 2D plane. If I'll take any point on this plane, let's suppose if I'm taking any point here, so this point would be something x comma y. So this value takes here x and y. So let's suppose this is 1, this is 2. So this coordinate x comma y coordinate would become 1 comma 2, right? This is 1 comma 2 coordinate. So that's how we'll see that what is a point in this coordinate system. We call this as a coordinate system where we have some numbers on x-axis and we have some numbers on the y-axis, right? Now, if I'll talk about this 2D plane, right? In 2D plane, I can draw anything. Let's suppose I'll draw a line here, right? This is a line. If I want to know what would be the equation of a line, right? I want to know this is a, what would be the equation of a line. First, let's discuss about real number line. If I'll talk about real number line, this is my real number line. Real number line. Can anybody tell me what is real number? In GATE course, do you teach on digital board on pen tab mode? We'll discuss it like this, on digital board, not on pen tab. Right, if I'll talk about real number line, there would be a 0 in the middle, and then there would be a negative number, -1, -2, and all the values lies between that. That is my real number 1, and this is my 2, and we have all the numbers between 1 and 2. So all the real number, any number exists, gets covered in real number, right? That is my real number line. But if I'll talk about equation of a line, if I'll talk about equation of a line, what would be this equation of a line? So first of all, let's suppose this is a equation, this is a line P, or let's say this is a line L. If I want to find out equation of a line, either I require 2 points on the line, or either I require slope of a line. What is the slope of a line? Slope of a line is a tangent of the angle made by this line with the x-axis. What does it mean here? This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Let's suppose that the line angle made theta with the line x-axis. Okay, right. So that means, let's suppose L is a line and it made an angle theta with the x-axis. Then we'll say that slope of line L, slope of line L is equals to tan theta. Tan theta is equals to slope of line. Slope of line L is equals to tan theta. And also if I want to find out, let's suppose this angle theta is not given to me. If this angle is not given to me, if I have given 2 points x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2, I have given 2 points on this line, then I can find out slope of a line using the formula y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. So now you would ask that why I am teaching you this slope, because for equation of a line we should understand that how would we define slope of a line. So slope of a line is a tangent of the angle made by that line with the x-axis, that is tan theta. Or if I have given 2 points on a line, then I can subtract uh, y coordinate y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 gives me slope of a line, right? So let's take one example. Let's suppose we have given this line. This coordinate is, let's say, 1 comma 2 and this is 2 comma 4. If I want to find out slope here, slope would be x coordinate, y coordinate, y is 4 and 2, so 4 minus 2, x coordinate is 2 and 1, 2 minus 1, so here slope would become 2. Slope of this line is 2, right? So I hope this is clear that what is a slope of a line, slope of a straight line. So this line can be anything. So if I'll talk about this line, this kind of a line, can anybody tell me that this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis? If I'll take a line parallel to x-axis, what would be the slope of a line here? If I'll take any line parallel to x-axis, what would be the slope? What would be the slope here, guys? A line parallel to x-axis. If I'll say that, what would it is defining? It is a define what would be the angle with the x-axis. There is, what would be the angle with the x-axis by this line? Just tell me. Angle is 0, right? It is making 0 angle. So I can say that slope of a line would be tan 0, that is 0. So slope of this line is 0, right? And let's suppose if I have a line parallel to x-axis, this is L1 and this is L2. Slope of line L1, slope of line L1 is equals to tan 0. Now let's suppose if I have to find out slope of line L2, slope of line L2. So I can see that if a line is parallel to y-axis, that means with the x-axis it would be on 90 degree, right? So it would make angle here 90 degree. Here we have an angle 90 degree. So that means slope would become 10 pi by 2. 10 pi by 2. And we know that 10 pi by 2 is infinity. So this is infinity. Right? So that's how we are going to find out slope. So here I have find out slope using angle. You can find out with two coordinates as well. Just let me know, guys, if slope thing is clear to everybody, then we'll move to straight equation of a line. Just tell me, guys, if there is any confusion in slope of a line. Good evening, Keshav. Just tell me, guys, I hope there is no confusion in slope of a line. Then let's move forward to straight line. So guys, we have discussed that to find out equation of a line, we required slope of a line. So I am representing slope of a line with m. Slope of line with m. So let's suppose we have this line is given, this line L is given and its slope is m. Slope is m and one coordinate is given to me, that is x1 comma y1. Or I can see x1 comma y1 is given. Then equation of a line would be y is equals to mx plus c would be the equation of a line. M is what? Where m is a slope. Right? Y is equals to mx plus c would be a equation of a line where m is my slope of a line. So let's suppose if I have not given slope of a line, what would, either I have to either they have to give slope of a line or they have to give 2 point coordinates x2 comma y2. Let's suppose if I have given two coordinates x2 comma y2, then I can find out slope of a line and then I can write down equation of a line y is equals to mx plus c. But now you would ask that what would be the value for c? How would I define c here? So let's say let's say we have taken one example. Let's take one example. We have given this equation of a line. This is 2 comma 1 and this is 3 comma 4, right? We have given this coordinates 2 comma 1 and 3 comma 4. We have to find out equation of a line here. So first of all, I'll find out slope of a line, right? What would be the slope of a line here? Slope of a line would be 4 minus 1, 4 minus 1 and 3 minus 2. So I get that slope of a line is 3. So can I say that equation of a line here would become y is equals to 3x plus c? But now the question is that what would be the value for c here? Right? This is the question. What would be the value of c? So because 2 comma 1 lies on this line. If any point lies on a line, that means it satisfies its equation. Just tell me guys if this statement is clear. If any point lies on this line, 2 comma 1 lies on this line, that means 2 comma 1 satisfy the equation of a line. What is equation? Equation of a line, if I am saying that it represents all the point which lies on the line. So here 2 comma 1 lies on the line, so that means it would satisfy this equation. So I'll put x is equals to 2, 3 into 2, y is equals to 1 plus c. That would give me c is equals to 1 minus 6, that is minus 5. So see, I got minus 5. So equation would become y is equals to 3x minus 5 is my equation. And also you can check that this 3 comma 4 also gets satisfied by this equation. 3 into 3, that is 9, minus 5 4, that would be the right side, right? So that's how we'll find out equation of a line. So equation of a line is equals to y is equals to mx plus c, and these m and c decides the what would this m and c decide? M and c decides that where would be my line. So m decide that what would be the angle with the x-axis, and c decides that what is the intercept. So that means this is my c, and this theta gives me slope 10, that is 10 theta gives me slope, right? So here we have only two parameters, and parameters, what would I mean by parameters? That what values I have to find out. For equation of a line, I have to find out two values, that is m and c. Is it clear guys? Just let me know, because we are going to use regression in your complete we are going to use equation of a line in complete regression. Just tell me guys if this is not clear. I hope everybody knows how to find out equation of a line. Let's take one example. So I am writing one example here too, so that you can find out equation of a line. So let's suppose we have given 4 comma 1 and 5 comma 6. Just find out equation of a line. Let's say 5 instead of uh sorry 6 comma 7. Just find out equation of a line for this, for these 2 points. Just find out equation of a line. Just find out equation of a line. Okay, Rajiv, I only told students because you have joined late, so I am repeating it again, that to find out equation of a line, our equation of a line, if I have any line, I would say that equation of a line is equals to y is equals to mx plus c. M is what? M is slope of a line. Slope of a line is what? If any line makes an angle theta with the x-axis, then tan theta would be my slope, right? So that means slope is what? Slope is tangent of the angle theta made by the line with the x-axis. I hope you know that this is x-axis and this is y-axis, right? So tan theta, m I got from here. Either I can find out m from this tan theta, or I can use the formula that m is equals to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 if I have given 2 points. Once I got the value for m here, then I can satisfy any of the point in the equation to find out the value for c. So c basically gives me intercept. I told student that c gives me the intercept of a line with the x-axis, and slope gives me tangent of the angle with the x-axis. for the line. Just let me know guys, what would be the equation of a line for this? What would be the equation of a line here? So we know that equation of a line is y is equals to mx plus c. I'll find out m here. M is what? y2 minus y1. That means 7 minus 1 upon 6 minus 4. That means 6 by 2. That is 3. So slope is 3. So equation would become y is equals to 3x plus c. But I want to find out this intercept as well. I want to get this value c as well here. Right? How do I find out the value for c? Because I know that I can take any of the point, because point lies on the line, so it satisfies the equation. So it's at when it satisfies the equation, 3 into 4 plus c, y is y is equals to 1. Y is equals to 1 and 3 into 4 plus c. So we'll get c is equals to minus 11. Right? So equation would become y is equals to 3x minus 11. So this would be the equation of a line. I know that because I have this line would be y-axis somewhat here. Right? So let me know guys, is there any confusion in equation of a line? So in linear regression you would see that when we'll plot, so if you remember what we have done in linear regression, we have given some data here, right? I want to find out a best fit line. For the best fit line I have to find out the value, that is slope and c intercept, right? I want to find out that line which fits this data properly, and for that what would I find out? I'll take that y is equals to mx plus c is the equation of a line, and then I'll find out m and c. Right? We'll get that in depth. Okay, Rajiv, let me explain it once again. Just go through it very carefully. So let's suppose if I'm saying that I have to find out equation of a straight line. So this is a straight line. Let's suppose it makes an angle theta with the x-axis. So I hope you know that this is x-axis and this is y-axis. And if I have to take any point, let's suppose this is my coordinate system, right? If I have to take any point here, then how do I write down point here? X on this axis and y on this axis. X comma y would be my coordinate, right? If x comma y is my coordinate, now I want to find out equation of a line. For equation of a line, first I have to understand that what is slope, right? Slope is tangent of the angle made by this line. Slope is equals to tan theta, right? Slope is equals to tan theta. So I'll take theta here and apply tangent, then I'll get a slope. And also I can find out slope if I have given two coordinates, x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2 on a line. So the formula for slope is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So slope I represent with value m, right? If I'll get this m value, y is equals to mx plus c would be the equation, right? Y is equals to mx plus c. Y is equals to 1. Let me see where I have written y is okay, let me just clarify this, then I'll take y is equals to, okay, y is equals to mx plus c would be the equation, right? So in previous example I have taken a point, I don't remember the point, so let's suppose I have taken the point 6 comma 7 and 4 comma 1. Okay, so let's suppose these are the points. So what I have done, I have find out slope. Slope is what? 7 minus 1 upon 6 minus 4, right? 7 minus 1 upon 6 minus 4, that is 6 by 2. And we'll get slope of a line, that is 3. Slope I got as 3. Y is equals to 3 into x plus c. This is the equation. But here I have to find c as well for the equation of a line. To find out c, what would I do? I can see that 4 comma 1 satisfy the line. What is this 4 comma 1? On 4 comma 1 we have x is equals to 4, y is equals to 1. I hope you get it, that 4 comma 1, this 4 comma 1 means that x is equals to 4 and y is equals to 1. So I'll put that in this equation. 4 comma 1 satisfies the equation. So that means x is equals to 4, y is equals to 1. So 3 into 4 plus c, y is equals to 1. So on solving we'll get c is equals to minus 11. So equation of line would become y is equals to mx. M is what? M is 3x minus 11. Just let me know if anybody do not get it till now, that how we have find out equation of a line. Let me know guys if this is clear for everybody. Okay, so let's move forward. So that's how we'll find out equation of a line. Okay, so that means two values are required to find out equation of a line. M, that is slope, and C, that is intercept with the x-axis, that is C. So we require 2 points. Now equation of horizontal and vertical lines. Can anybody tell me that what would be the equation of this line? This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Just tell me equation of a line that is horizontal line. That is equation of a line which is parallel to x-axis. What would be the equation of a line? Equation of a horizontal line, what would be that? Tell me guys. So here I told you that slope is tan theta. Slope, that is m is equals to tan theta. And because theta is what here? 0. Because it does not making any angle with the x-axis. So 10 pi by 2. 10 pi by 10 0. So that means slope would become 0. So equation would become y is equals to mx plus c. That means 0 into x plus c. That means y is equals to c. That means y intercept. So that means I can see that intercept. So the point here, that is my intercept with the y axis. Okay, the values for c is y intercept, not x intercept, y intercept. So m is equals to c would be the y is equals to c would be the equation, and c is what? C is this point. Guys, just correct it. This is c, right? C is this point, the line at which on with which y axis intercept, that is c. Right, Akhil. Y is equals to c with be the equation, m is equals to 0. Okay, now tell me equation of a vertical line. That means I just want to know that what would be the equation of this line. What would be the equation for this line? That means line is parallel to x-axis, y-axis, sorry. Line is parallel to y-axis. Tell me guys, what would be the equation of a line here? Okay, so here the angle is pi by 2 with the x-axis. So slope would become 10 pi by 2. And I told you 10 pi by 2 is infinity. So now equation of line would become y is equals to mx plus c. Y is equals to mx plus c. If I'll put infinity here, y will become infinity. This is not a equation, right? That's not how I'll define equation. Rajiv is saying -1. So here equation of line would not be y is equals to. So what would I write down here? Equation of a line, x is equals to, let's find out this intercept k. X is equals to k would be the equation of a line. So that means for a vertical line, we'll write down equation something like x is equals to k. I hope you get it, because y is equals to infinity is not equation, right? So that's why I'll write down x is equals to k. I'm not defining y because y goes up to infinity. Rajib's 10 pi by 2 is infinity, not -1. Why it is infinity? Because 10 pi by 2 is sin pi by 2 upon cos pi by 2. Sin pi by 2 is 1 and cos pi by 2 is 0. That's why 10 pi by 2 is infinity. Okay, so that's how basically we work on equation of a line, and we are going to use that equation of a line in linear regression in next lecture. Right, now equation of a plane. So guys, till now we have studied only 2D structure, right? 2D structure in which we have y-axis and x-axis, x-axis and y-axis, but we can study about 3D structure, 4D structure, 5D structure, right? There are n dimension possible. So what would we do for that? For, let's suppose we have 3 dimension, right? This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, and this is my z-axis. Now I want to write out. Now in this case there would not be a line, right? If I'll take a line, that would be 2D plane, right? Here we have a plane, right? We have a plane on which we have value x, y, and z, right? So in 3D structure we have a plane. So for that, equation of line would become ax plus by plus cz is equals to d equals to 0. Or we can write down x, or we can write down, like, this is a equation of a line. Or can I write down this as z is equals to, so this is my equation of a line. And all equation of a line, previously we have written down equation of a line is equals to y is equals to mx plus c, right? You guys remember, we have written down y is equals to mx plus c. If I'll find out z value from here, so it would become z is equals to minus d by c minus a by bx minus by, sorry, a by cx. And or let's not write down, let's write down equation of a plane like this. Instead of that, I'll write down equation of plane like this. We have written down equation of a line. So equation of a plane is always z is equals to ax plus by plus c. This is what, this is equation of a plane. Just remember this. So equation of a line is y is equals to mx plus c. On the right side we have only one variable, that is x, and we have to find out value for m and c, that are constant. We have to find out those value. Now here in this equation we have two variables, x and y, and we have to find out a value for z. We have three parameters here, a, b, and c, that we have to find out using the given data, right? So this is equation in equation of plane. So if I'll talk about 3D structure, then equation of plane is equals to z is equals to ax plus by plus c, right? That is equation of a plane. We are going to see that how we are going to find out if if there is a requirement to find out equation of plane, but right now we do not need it. Equation of a plane in n dimension. Let's suppose we have n dimension. We have n dimensions here, right? Then how do I write down equation of a plane? So I'll write down xn is equals to ax1 plus, let me write down a1x1, a2x2 up to an minus 1, xn minus 1 plus c, or plus b, anything you can write down. So you can see that in, so let's just recall. Previously, equation of line is y is equals to mx plus c. When we goes to 3D structure, then equation of plane would become z is equals to ax plus by plus c. That means third variable I'll take it here, and on the left side we will take x and y. And now in equation of plane in n dimension, xn is equals to a1 x1, a2 x2 up to an xn minus 1 plus c. So guys, this is what that means. We have n minus 1 input variable, and this one is my output variable. This is my output variable, and these are my input data. Input data means, that means these values I'll provide it by myself. So here I have, if I know the value for m and c, then I can find out the value of y from here, right? Just let me know. So this is what you can see this equation as y is equals to mx plus c. So I already have find out, previously I have find out one equation as 3x minus 11. So now let's suppose if I know the value of x, so let's suppose this equation gives me price of a house when we have the x value, that is size in square feet. So it would give me the value in lakhs, right? And x I can take here would be greater than equal to 4. So if I'll take x is equals to 4, 3 4s 12 minus 11, that means 1 lakh. So we'll get, when x is 4 square feet, then we have y is equals to 1 lakh. price. So corresponding to the values of x, we will get the value of y. So I can take the example that corresponding to the value of x, that is size of a house, gives me price of a house. Here if I have taken two variable, that is size of a house, x variable is size of a house, y is number of rooms in a house. So if I have two variables, corresponding to that I can find out price of a house, size of a house and number of variables, number of rooms in a house. This is what, this is size and this is number of rooms. Because a b c I have to find out by myself, x and y are variable. So let's suppose somebody asks me, I want 4 rooms in a house with a size of, let's say 1500 square feet, then I can calculate the price of house corresponding to that. Just let me know guys if this thing is clear. Just let me know guys if there is any confusion in these equations, then we'll move forward. Tell me guys in the chat section, just waiting for your. Okay, so let's move forward. Now next thing we have is Euclidean distance. So what does this Euclidean distance means? So I told you when we work in 2D structure, let's suppose this is x axis, this is y axis. Let's suppose I have this point 1 comma 4 and I have this point here 5 comma 9. If I have to find out distance between these two, how would I find out a distance? I know that if I work on a real number line, this is 4, this is 7. I have to find out distance between them. 7 minus 4, that is 3 would be the distance. But how would I find out the distance between these two lines, these 2 points? How would I find out the distance? So Euclidean distance says that basically we have to write down x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. This is a distance. x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. So what it would do? Uh, Rajiv, please understand this. We are going to practice questions in linear regression based on this topic, right? Based on these topics. Just understand what I am doing right here. And because you do not need to practice this maths, you have to practice the algorithm, which I am going to tell you with the help of this. Okay, so this is a distance x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. Now if I have this, and we call this distance as a Euclidean distance. If I have 3 points, instead of 2 dimension, if I have 3 dimension, first let's find out the distance between 2 dimension. 9 minus 4, okay, x2 minus x1 square, that means x2 is what, 5. This is x1 by 1 and this is x2 by 2, right? So x2 minus x1, 5 minus 1 square plus 9 minus 4 square. This is a distance. So it would become 5 minus 1, that is 4. 4 square is 16. 9 minus 4, that is 25. 16 plus 25 gives me 41. So square root of 41 is a distance, right? Square root of 41 is the distance. Right, Akhil, we are going to use we are going to use equation of a plane or equation of plane in n dimension in multiple linear regression. Right, so that's how I find out a distance. So let's suppose if I have a coordinate something like x1 comma y1 comma z1 and x2 comma y2 comma z2, then how would I find out a distance? Again the same formula, Euclidean distance would be x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square plus z2 minus z1 square. That's how I'll find out a distance. Right, I hope it is clear to you that how to find out a distance. We are going to use that when we are going to use k nearest neighbors algorithm. Okay, now let's move forward. Next is limit of a function. Guys, what is limit of a function? Let's suppose we have this graph y is equals to x square. Let's suppose we have this graph that is y is equals to x square. I have to find out that how my graph is behaving at x is equals to 0. So what I am trying to do here, I am trying to approach the x is equals to 0 from the left hand side, and I am trying to approach x is equals to 0 from the right hand side. If I'll reach at a single point, then I'll say that limit exists, otherwise limit does not exist. And I'll write down this as limit x approaches to 0 negative fx. Fx is, let's say fx is equals to x square. 0 negative means, that means I am trying to approach x is equals to 0 from the left hand side, right? So that I'll write down limit x tending to 0 negative fx. If I want to try the limit x tends to 0 positive fx, that means I am trying to approach x is equals to 0 from the right hand side. So my function is here x square limit x tending to 0 negative x square, and I can see that if I'll try to approach x is equals to 0 from the left hand side, I'll reach to the point 0. So I'll put 0 here, I'll get 0 square, that is 0. Limit x tending to 0 positive fx, that would give me limit x tending to 0 positive x square, that is 0. So here we call this limit as left hand limit, and we call this limit as right hand limit. If left hand limit and right hand limit are equal, then we'll say that limit exists, otherwise limit does not exist. So just let me know guys if this is clear. This limit of a function is clear to everybody. So now you would ask that, okay, when the limit would not exist? So let's suppose we have given the function, we have given this function. That means my function fx is defined as when x is less than 0, my function is 0. When x is greater than 0, my function is x plus 1. Right? That's how I want to define my function. So एक function given है मुझे, ये function given है कि अगर x is less than 0, then the function is defined as 0. That means when x is less than 0, function is 0, और x greater than 0 है तो function x plus 1 है. Now can anybody tell me what would be the left hand limit and right hand limit here? Left hand limit would be limit x tending to 0 negative fx. Now I am trying to approach x is equals to 0 from the left hand side, and left hand side is 0, right? On the left hand side, x on the left hand side of 0, we have the function 0. So I can write down limit x tending to 0 negative, that is 0. So we'll get the limit 0. But if I'll find out right hand limit means limit x tending to 0 positive fx. That means I am trying to approach x is equals to 0 from the right hand side, and right hand side our function is x plus 1. So that means limit x tending to 0 positive x plus 1. So that means function is x plus 1. Now I'll put the value 0 plus 1, that would give me 1. So here left hand limit is not equals to right hand limit. So here limit does not exist. Right? So we have these two cases where limit exists and limit does not exist. Let me know guys if there is any confusion in existence of limit. Just tell me guys. If it is clear, just give me a quick thumbs up in the chat section. Let me know guys if it is not clear. Just let me know. And guys, before moving forward, if you are learning from these sessions, please like the session so that it can reach to more students and more students will take benefit from these sessions. And you can if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to our channel so that you would get notification for all those lectures which we are having. Not clear? Okay, can you tell me that what is not clear here? Okay, Rajiv is saying clear. Anyone else, guys? So, I'll repeat it once again that if I'm talking about limit, what I'm trying to do, that here I have taken the function fx is equals to x square. I'm trying to approach the function from the left hand side and the right hand side at a particular position, that is limit, right? That means I want to see that at a particular point how my function is behaving on the left of that point and how my function is behaving on the right side of the point, right? So I just want to know that. So that's why we have introduced the concept that left hand limit and right hand limit. Left hand limit gives me how my function is behaving on the left hand side, and right hand limit tells me how my function is behaving on the right side. So what I have done to represent left hand limit, limit extending to 0 negative fx, and I have seen that the function is equals to x square on the left hand side. So I have written limit extending to 0 negative x square, and then I have put the value 0 here. I got the limit 0, right? I just have to put the value simply. Rajiv, yeah, we are going to complete it surely, right? And if I'll talk about right hand limit, again on the right side I have seen that function is x square, so I have written limit extending to 0 x square, we get the limit 0. But here left hand limit we got as right hand limit, so limit exists, right? But here in this graph I have seen that function fx is equals to 0 when x is less than 0, and when x is greater than 0 my function is x plus 1, right? So we have two different functions, I have to work accordingly. So when I have when I have talked about left hand limit, right? So I'll take limit extending to 0 negative fx, and I have seen that on the left of 0 my function is 0, so I have taken here 0, I got the limit 0. But when I talk about right hand limit, limit extending to 0 positive fx, that means on the right hand side of 0 I have function x plus 1, so I got the limit. When I put x is equals to 0, I got the limit 1. These two are not equal, so in this case limit does not exist, but in this case limit exists. Now tell me guys if it is not clear. Guys, you guys doesn't have uh, all students haven't liked the session, so please like the session who haven't. Okay, tell me guys if still anybody have confusion. Okay, everything gets clear. Okay, next thing we have is differentiation. Differentiation. So guys, what is differentiation? First let me tell you about continuity. 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 Continuous function. Before differentiable, I'll tell you about continuous function. Continuous functions are those functions, let's suppose y is equals to x square is given to me. If I can trace the graph of a function without lifting my pen, then I'll say that function is continuous. So here if I'll start from the left hand side, I can trace the graph without lifting my pen, so that's why it's continuous. So that means if there is no break in the function, then I'll say that function is continuous. Right, then I'll say that my function is continuous. If I'll talk, so that is continuous, so this function is continuous, but the graph I have taken previously, this was the graph. So here if I'll try to trace the graph, if I'll start from here, I'll trace it, I have to lift my pen here to trace this graph completely, right? So I'll say that this is not continuous. Simple thing, because I can see that here is a break in the function, so that's why it's not continuous. This function is continuous. That is continuity. Now next thing we have here is differentiability. Differentiability is important because we are going to use it in all the concepts. So differentiability says that if I am able to draw a tangent at any point, then I'll say that function is differentiable, right? So function is differentiable. That means if I am able to draw a tangent at a particular point, then I'll say that function is continuous. Function is differentiable, otherwise function is not differentiable, right? And this is also a definition for differentiability. If this limit extending to a f of x minus f of a upon x minus a exists, then we'll say that function is differentiable, otherwise function is not differentiable. So guys, just check, this is one of the homework for you. Just check that this fx is equals to x square is differentiable using this function. First at x is equals to 0, just check it at a is equals to 0. And second is, just check fx is equals to mod x is differentiable at x is equals at a is equals to 0 or not. So you have to check these two, and if you would not get it, then we'll discuss it in the next session, right? So that is that one thing you have to check, that these two things you have to check. And I'm saying it, I'm just telling you that this you would get differentiable and this you would get not differentiable. Just check using this definition so you would know how differentiability or and non-differentiability works. Should I check it, or you have to give it a try once? Just give it a try once, then we'll discuss it in the next session. But before that, I have to discuss some things, that what is meaning of different. Okay, okay. Now, so when I'm talking about differentiability, so if function is differentiable, I can find out a differentiation. So we have some of the formulas for differentiation. So if you remember that f of x is equals to x to the power n, then its differentiation is f dash x is equals to n into x to the power n minus 1. This is a differentiation. I hope all of you know these differentiation formulas, and with the help of that I have find out differentiation for this function. X square plus 6x differentiation would be f of x is equals to x square plus 6x. I'll differentiate x square, that is 2x, because 2 comes in the front. X to the power n differentiation is n into x to the power n minus 1. So for x square, 2 would come in front, x to the power 2 minus 1, that is x to the power 1, plus 6 into x to the power 1. So 6 into 1, x to the power 1 minus 1, that is 0. So 2x plus 6 would be the differentiation. Right, so that's how differentiation works. Right, let me write down some of the formulas, that if that means, let me write down the formula. So guys, you have to remember these formulas. X to the power n differentiation is n x to the power n minus 1. A to the power x differentiation is a to the power x log a. Differentiation of sin x is cos x. Dash means differentiation. This is one of the method to represent differentiation. Differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. Differentiation of 10x is sec square x, and differentiation of cot x is minus cot x cosec x. Just check these differentiation formulas. Just a minute. Differentiation of sec x is, let me write down differentiation of sec x. Sec x differentiation is sec x 10x, and differentiation of cosec x is minus cosec x cot x, and differentiation of, these are some trigonometric functions we have, and differentiation of what we left with cot x minus cosec square x. These are some differentiation formulas. Just remember these differentiation formulas, because, and there is one another function, that is e to the power x. So guys, do you know what is e to the power x function? E to the power function is my exponential function, and graph for this function is this, something like that. E is what, 2.7 something value, right? So this is a graph of e to the power x. If I'll talk about differentiation of e to the power x, this is e to the power x. And all these functions are differentiable. That's why we are able to find out differentiation of all those functions. And then we have one log function, log x. You all guys have heard it. Differentiation of log x is 1 by x. And if I'll talk about graph of log x, this is a graph for log x. So just remember the graph of e to the power x and log x. Let me know guys if there is any question regarding differentiation in the chat section. Guys, I am moving little bit fast because we have to cover all the differentiation formula, and then we have to, in the next session we are going to cover optimization in machine learning, right? So you would know how to find out maxima and minima for a function. Just tell me that if at this point if anybody have a confusion, you just have to remember these differentiation formulas. So from the start of the session, first we have studied straight lines, planes, and then we have discussed limit of a function, and then we have moved to continuity and differentiability. Continuity is what? If I am able to trace the graph of a curve without lifting my pen, then function is continuous. If I am saying differentiation, then that means if I am able to draw a tangent at any particular point, then I'll say that function is differentiable. if function is differentiable, then I am able to find out their differentiation. So these are the formulas which we have to remember for differentiation, right? And guys, I told you one thing, that what continuous is, continuous function are those function if there is, so if there is no break, then I'll say that function is continuous. But if you will see, if I'll talk about differentiation, right? So let's suppose we have this sharp point, right? I cannot draw uh, any tangent on the sharp point, so that means this function is not differentiable at this particular point, right? If I'll say that if there is a break in a graph, so I know that at an end point I'm not able to draw a tangent. Where I can draw a tangent, I can draw a tangent on a smooth path, right? I can draw a tangent here, but I cannot draw a tangent at an end point. So that means function is not differentiable when there is a sharp point, and function is not differentiable. uh, these classes are for machine learning. If you have to cover mathematics for data science, then we are not able to bring that on YouTube. So that's why I'm covering all the basics. But with these basics, you can continue your machine learning algorithms. And also one more thing, guys, these are the basics required. And before that, if you would study calculus, probability and statistics and linear algebra, then you would be able to work on all the problems here. All the mathematics required is covered. But I have covered almost everything which is required for your gate machine learning, right? In the next session, guys, we are going to discuss maxima and minima of a function. That is very important, which we are going to cover end to end, so that we can start our machine learning algorithms. Just tell me that if at this point anybody have any confusion in any of the topic. Okay, Akhil is asking what is the expected cutoff for GATE DA 2024 for OBC. Akhil, right now we cannot say about the cutoff because this exam is new and we do not have any previous data. So I'm not sure that how students have performed. Like, we know that students who are good in maths find it easier to score marks good, because there are a lot of mathematics in GATE DA exam, right? So but on sure, I'm not sure about the cutoff for the exam. Let me know, guys, what would be the is there any question till now? If not, then we are going to discuss optimization in machine learning in the next session. Basically, we are going to see that how to find out maxima and minima, right? If you haven't go till now, just go through the topics which I have covered, just revise those topics, and then we are going to continue in the next lecture. Let me know, guys, if there is any question. Is there any another question, guys? Okay, so that's all from my side, guys. Thank you for joining the session. If there is any doubt, any question, you can post that in the comment section. Otherwise, I'm going to continue on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Rajiv, I haven't collected all the practice problem right now, but I'll surely give you in the next lecture all the practice problems which you are asking for, right? But till now, just go through all these topics for revision. Basically differentiation, because we are going to use all the differentiation formulas in finding out maxima and minima. Okay, yeah, so that's all from my side, guys. Thank you for joining.